What's cracking, my grape growers from around the world? This is Tapia Ag, back once again with another little quick video. Somebody requested if I can do a head top train vine pruning. Happens that we have a few blocks of these type of vines. I'm gonna go over a few things with these vines. I personally I have issues with them. And matters that it doesn't really have a wire to hold the canes like you see right here. They're all just by themselves like this. We just have the wooden post to hold them. um and all the reasons I don't like them because I noticed that there's a bunch of holes now inside these vines. That's not good because the water penetrates and it rottens the vine itself. It's just the vine is very weak. One of the reasons the holes are like that is because in the past years, people that would come to prune and didn't have the experience, they would just do huge cuts here and there that were not necessary, and they will make these type of cuts like you see right there. Those will start, wearing off the wood. It just provokes a lot of problems for the vine itself, like you see right here. All this is bad. The water penetrates, and then another thing is that the birds will come in and they'll gather their food for the winter, and they'll put the seeds of the oaks inside here. So in springtime when you're doing the shooting, all of a sudden you'll see a oak growing out of the vine. So that's not good. So I don't this is these vines, me personally, I don't recommend. To me, it's just for looks. You really have to take care of them. Another problem is that when they start growing, and these ones, they're right now they're wood, so right now they're stiff, they're going up. But once they're barely growing and they're green, it gets heavy with the clusters, so they'll drop to the ground. So when you come in with your tractor and you try to spray, what happens is that the cordons will get stuck onto the tractor's tires and things like that. So you'll be yanking down a bunch of fruit and things like that. You don't want to be doing that. So that's one of the things I don't like about these vines. Another thing is I feel like these vines produce half that. The V-shaped vines will produce double, and this one's only produce half of a normal V-shaped vine will do. I'm gonna show you one over here. I restarted it about 2 years ago, and it's brand new right now. So I'm just training in, doing it's basically you growing an arm from the ground, kind of, in a way. But it's just difficult to keep them straight and in the position that you want it, because it's just not. It has no wire. It has nothing to hold them. Here's one over here. This one's already completely dead. Nothing good on it. It just rottens. The water just penetrates too much on all the wounds, and all because of the bad pruning that was made a couple years back before I came in to work on this vineyard. So try to revive as much as I can. But most of these vines, they're really old. I want to believe these vines are about, want to say about 22 years old, or something like that. You see all the holes right here. All these holes is not good. You can't really do much to save them. The problem is really deep. Honestly, for me, I would just yank everything out of the ground and restart with brand new healthy vines. But let's get to it. Let's do the little quick pruning. Hopefully everybody catches something here new. Nothing's perfect. Always remember, you gotta take your time. Obviously there's only a certain amount of time to do the pruning. Don't take too long. These ones will be a little bit easier because it doesn't have too much going on. So you already know which one's your spur from last year, which is this one right here. You got your growth from last year. You just gotta choose the best spurs, best position, and always remember, leave 2 buttons at the eyesight. And if the cordon happens to be like this, then you just leave 1 button. So let's get to it. Let's start with this one right here real quick. 2 buttons. Let's make a clean pruning. Clean that one off. We got another one here in the bottom. We'll do the same. There we go. Notice around right here, because when you see these arms like this, you can actually leave a hand space, and if you have something over here like this one, you can go ahead and leave another spur. Obviously this one didn't make it, it's dead, the wood is dead, so there's nothing else you can really do, just go ahead and drop it down. But let's say if there was a good spur right here, you can go ahead and leave it with the two buns, and because there'll be a hand space. You don't want them too close where they're gonna collide with each other. So you can that way you can be adding a little bit more and of spurs, and you can be able to have some fruit for the year. You just gotta play with it. See, like right here, I left two, but it's about a hand space. Let me see right here. It's about a hand space. So they're not gonna collide. If it would have been like up here, then I wouldn't leave it. I would just take it down. Here's another one right here. So we're just gonna keep moving on. Just simple pruning, nothing special. You just gotta concentrate and watch what you're doing. Clean that one off. We'll hit this one over here. And there we go. You got a little tiny one right there. That one's okay. Just one button. Boom. That way, the reason I do one button when they're small, that way the wood can actually mature, and it helps the develop itself when it pushes the new cord on. Because sometimes you can leave two buttons, but it's gonna struggle to even grow and mature even the grapes when the clusters are coming out. So you gotta help it out when it's a tiny one. And there we go. And that's how you start your that's how you prune your head top vines. Like I said, you see there's too many holes right there. You see that hole right there? You see another hole right there? And this is what happens when you do huge cuts that are not necessary, and it'll produce this problem. Get your type of dryback, and then you get all this fungus, and then the birds come in. I believe because they look like trees, the birds, for some reason, they get attracted a lot, and they come in and they just start poking holes in it too. They'll start working in the vines, doing their holes, and then put in their seeds or food to survive for the winter. And then this is the results, and that's not good. This vine, I don't think it's gonna last very long, because I did restart it from a few years back, I mean. But if you notice on the bottom, I cut the old one, but look, the old one's already rotten. It's just holding itself, because the good stuff is running right here. That means the water's still going, but because it's already damaged from the bottom, I'll give it a few more years to live. But this is basically how you restart a new one. You want to do the head training, you do your spurs, and always choose the best ones, better position. In this case, I'll start from the bottom up, so I'm gonna start from right here. I'll clean the one right here we don't need. Cut this one over here, clean it, and there you go. You look up here, you have one right here. We just leave this little tiny one with one button. Now we got a good one up here, kind of like a zigzag motion. You don't want them all to hang from one side. You got to kind of help it balance itself, because once it gets with the clusters, it's gonna get heavy. So you guys, these two right here, see, since we got the one on the bottom, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this one right there and leave this one over here. And you see now how it's like a zigzag movement. Now we're gonna get this one. We got this one on top. That's pretty good. You just gotta clean everything. And always make sure you make good clean cuts. Go around. Sorry for the quality video. I'm holding it with one hand. There we go. Then if you go on the top, you got your position on your spurs. Clean right there. And clean over here. And there we go. And then we keep moving up here. Always remember, the main ones are from the older spur from last year. So you always want to focus on which one's gonna be the best one. this one you see right here on the bottom is actually from a sucker from last year. You don't want to leave that. You only leave this one if you wouldn't have the good main one. Then you can leave this one. But since you got the good one, you clean the sucker off basically. Clean it, and you clean this one right there. Do the same over here. Clean everything off from here. And there we go. Normally we want to leave this going up, but since the thing, the stake right here, the post is short, it starts to, basically bending to one side. So I'm just gonna keep it that way. Once next year starts growing again, we'll do another pruning, and it will start looking like that eventually. You just have to kind of make sure you leave only a few. You don't want to leave too much, especially if your vines are really weak and you're just barely starting to do the pruning for the first time. Like I said, these vines are about 20 some years old. I mean, they should have been in a better health position, but because of the way they were taken care of, it was not good. This one that I just started actually is 3 years ago. I cut the old one, which is right here, but see, it's bad. See, I hit it, boom, it's gonna die. But I just do my best to revive whatever I can. And see, I come up with this right here. Now for this one, I'm gonna do the same thing. You separate your spurs. Do them, clean them, clean them. Doing that one right there, you notice, see? Boom. This is a shoot from last year. We don't want that. We want the one on top. This one's the best. Clean everything. Over here, we'll do the same. And you'll start noticing how it starts taking shape when you start cleaning everything off. There we go. Always try to keep them as straight as you can. Some are gonna be a little bit crooked, but always remember, keep them all facing up basically. Some are gonna be like this one right here. If the top is not good, which is one's okay, then go ahead and leave the one on the bottom, and you'll do just fine. The rest on the foot, on the body, just take it off. You don't want anything. And that's how you start training your head top. A lot of the problems with these vines, especially when you get these things that are rotten and things like that, is because a lot of them practice dry farming. um, Dry farming is very critical. I don't like doing dry farming. Actually, I do water vines. Water is very important for the vines. Other people like to water their vines until like around June, July. There's parts here in the United States where it gets really hot, up to 115, 100 degrees. You gotta give your vines some water. I normally water my vines around May, and then beyond that, I don't do it every day. I have a schedule, and depending how wet is the ground is how much I'm gonna drop on the ground. Every soil is different. You gotta learn that stuff too. You gotta know what kind of soil you got, so that way you don't overwater them and you don't underwater the vines either. Let's go ahead and do another one. So if you guys taking notes, about these vines, like I said, I don't really recommend them. You really have to take care of these ones. It's kind of hard to come in and do the spraying, things like that. I managed to actually put the mildew away. Like, there was a lot of mildew because of the way it was shaped. But doing the shoot thinning right, the leaf pulling on time, it helps a lot. But at the same time, because you don't have a wire to help it out, keep standing straight, just it's difficult, to work with these vines. Here in the bottom, not good. The birds come in and boom, they just start making holes and things like that. It's bad for these vines. They're suffering, but you know, you gotta work with them. There we go. This one only had basically 2 spurs. You notice I left this one right here. This one's actually from an older spur from last year. I'm gonna leave it. They're not too close. It'll be fine. It'll make it. And there you have it. Let's go do another one real quick over here. Got this one, has more options. We just remember, you just gotta keep them, you know, spaced out. That way they don't collide with each other once the clusters are pushing. So clean everything out, and you'll find a way to make a shape. You know, common sense. You know, something that with more practice you'll start noticing where you should leave. You know, the spur and what you should cut down. And sometimes it's hard because if it's your first time and you're not sure what to do, it's gonna be difficult. But that's why I do my best and try to do these videos so everybody can learn. Hopefully somebody catches something new. And you notice now it's taking shape. We'll do this one over here. Clean everything right here. Cut this one down. Do the same over here. And there you go. Head top prune vines. And that's how you do it. These vines been producing actually all right, you know, despite the way they've been, you know, treated. But at the same time, it's just the way you do your pruning. If you do your pruning right, the vines will actually thank you and they will produce a pretty good quality grape, you know. But obviously you need a lot of things to do. You know, you gotta feed, you know, feed them through the root system. You know, give them all that extra love. Remember, these vines are female, so you gotta show them some love, you know, like the ladies. All right, pues, this is Top Bag. Hopefully you like this video. I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. You know, subscribe, get a like. I'll catch you on the next one. Órale pues, al rato.